Ender's Island, St. Edmund's Retreat, a most unique and special place that all of us in this room know. As soon as you cross the causeway, you're overwhelmed by the beauty of God's majesty. Our Lord's grace and the gift of creation are seen in all of its glory. The sound, the plantings, the outbuildings. The chapel is a place where God's presence is almost immediately known. You can literally feel his arms embracing you. But the greatest gift that the island offers is a very, very special gift. And in some ways, it's the unsung hero. It's the gift of saving lives. St. Edmund's Retreat has a recovery program that takes in young adults who are lost and without hope. Indeed, it becomes their guardian angels. It's a program that is changing and improving the world one person at a time, one day at a time. We have 7 amazing young men currently in this program, and 2 men from the program will share their stories with us tonight. I'd like to introduce first Brian. Brian is a 24-year-old from West Hampton, Connecticut, and he's been a part of our recovery program for almost 2 years. Brian has a story of inspiration and joy. Brian?
Albert Einstein once said, "The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, but expecting different results." Well, he said it, I lived it. Alcoholism is a disease that cannot be controlled without help. The only solution to the problem is what originally caused the problem, and that's alcohol. For me, I was stuck in that catch-22. For a long time, the only way I knew how to feel normal and accepted was by drinking. But drinking, it meant death. And without it, I felt like death. It was not until I found the island and met a man by the name of Father Tom that I got better. And not only that, I had my life saved. When I was young, I was outgoing, curious, had a loving family and friends. I'll never forget, for Christmas, when I received a Panasonic camcorder, and I'd make little home movies with my brothers and documentaries of all my friends. I'll never forget the looks on their face when they watched this artwork I made. It was when I found out that I had a passion, and that passion was to tell stories. I always wanted to be an author or a director. But it wasn't long that I started seeing my life through a lens. And that when I felt the only way to feel accepted was, the only way that I could feel accepted was by having my friends. It was in my early 20s that my views on life had changed, and all I wanted to do was hide. I thought waking up and living was going to be the death of me. I didn't know how to feel comfortable in my own skin unless I was numb. And the only way I knew how to get numb was through drugs and alcohol. I got stuck in a vicious cycle, or if I didn't drink, I was crazier when I was sober. If I didn't drink, I couldn't stop shaking. If I didn't drink, I might do something I couldn't go back on. It wasn't long before I lost my license, my job, my friends, my faith, and my sanity. When all was enough, and I thought life was pretty much hopeless, I was introduced to a 12-acre island, where I met Father Tom and was invited to live in a sober community, which transformed the man I am today. That was on December 7th of 2008. When I was taken in, I was given AA literature, taken to AA meetings, and met true friends. I was surrounded in a community full of love and support. All I had to do was to work. I got a sponsor, I worked the steps, I learned how to live one day at a time. I also got my spiritual life back, something I haven't had for a long time. And I'll pray in the morning, asking for please, and pray at night, asking for thank you. Every day I'm learning how to turn my will over to God, so I can be a happy, healthy, and sober man. Because it was through God, Ender's Island, my family and friends, that has been my inspiration for my recovery. They helped me find my way out when I was lost. They took me in when I had nowhere to go. And they helped me live a life I never thought was possible. Now, I'm a full-time employee, a college student who gets straight A's who barely pass high school. I love to read mystery novels and write my short stories. I can even enjoy the small things in life, like getting a cup of coffee with Father Frank, or playing pool with the guys. The best part is I'm able to be myself and feel like I belong, and to be able to enjoy the moment at the moment. Because for so long, this was a foreign concept I never knew of. With the encouragement and constant support, I've been encouraged to apply to St. Mike's. And hopefully by next year, I'll be able to continue my dream as a filmmaker and an author. I plan on getting a bachelor's degree in English and be able to tell stories of inspiration and hope. Because it was only through God's grace that I could have come this far. And as Scripture tells us, to those to whom much is given, much is expected. I am able to help others now find recovery and find the joy in life that I found. I'm also able to help just people I meet in my daily life and be a good resource for my community. I owe my life, my dreams, and my future to the sober community at St. Edmunds Retreat. And I'd like to thank Father Tom and the entire staff. Thank you. Enjoy your meal.
Thank you, Brian. Thank you for your courage, and thanks for leading by example. And thanks for speaking from your heart. You're an inspiration to all of us. I'd also like to introduce John, who's also 24 years old. John arrived at St. Edmunds from North Carolina, and he's been here since January 2010. John's journey of the last 9 months is sure to touch your heart.
In the program of recovery to which I belong, medallions are given out to recognize lengths of sobriety. Today, I'm 9 months sober, and I picked up my 9-month medallion. But it's important to note that I wouldn't be here today, I wouldn't be in front of you tonight, if not for a very special program at St. Edmunds Retreat. I'm not looking half bad tonight, if I do say so myself. But it wasn't always this way. Not too long ago, I was drinking every day, around the clock. Sick mornings gave way to inebriated afternoons, passing out, blacking out, waking up in the evening a zombie, only to drink more. Every addict has their story as to how his or her disease progressed. Mine was quick, and it was unrelenting, lending a true face to the term downward spiral. It wasn't pretty. It's been said that the last battlegrounds for alcoholics are jails, institutions, and cemeteries, and I was en route to these places full speed ahead. I'd lost the ability to control my drinking. My disease left me and my heartsick family utterly powerless and truly terrified. I'd been in detox twice. I entered a 30-day treatment program that I didn't complete due to the terror I experienced at the thought of losing what had become my best friend, alcohol. I couldn't envision a future in which alcohol didn't play the principal role. I began to lose friends, the trust of my family, and the most fundamental sense of myself. After totaling a car that didn't belong to me and a series of frightening, terrible events, it was clear to others, and finally to myself, I'd hit bottom. I hit bottom, and my world went dark. Then in the depths of that darkness, I was invited to spend some time at St. Edmund's retreat. I wasn't sure what to expect upon arrival, but I felt a faint sense of hope. Little did I know that boarding that plane in North Carolina, reeking like a brewery, much to the dismay of my fellow passengers, I'd made the most significant decision of my life. I was sort of in a fog when I arrived at the island, but from day one, I was going to AA meetings. These meetings gave me a big blue book containing 12 invaluable steps to sobriety and offered a solution one day at a time. I began interacting with amazing people in recovery. I got a sponsor, started taking suggestions, and listened as other brave alcoholics shared their experience, strength, and hope. Gradually, the fog that had been surrounding me began to lift. After a while on the island, I began running and ran my first marathon with Father Tom last October. And ready or not, in 16 days, we'll do it again. There are no words to describe the level of support and encouragement Father Tom has given me. Today, I'm able to accomplish many things as a sober person. One of the best experiences I've had in sobriety was attending my sister's college graduation. And while it may sound very ordinary and natural for a brother to attend his sister's graduation, it was simply not something I could have been present for as an active alcoholic. But on that beautiful spring day, I was there for my sister, both physically and spiritually. There's a term coined by Shakespeare called sea change, and it's defined as a gradual transformation in which a subject's form is retained while its substance is replaced. In my time on the island, I've experienced a sea change, a tidal shift in my actions, outlook, and perception. No longer is the world a place to be feared and recoiled from, but a place filled with possibility and the opportunity to discover who it is I'm meant to be. I'm privileged to share this period of growth with 6 other young men in recovery. Without the boys, as we're referred to on the island, my sobriety simply wouldn't be the same. We're brothers not by blood, but by spirit. There's a palpable tenderness in the climate of St. Edmunds that nurtures personal and spiritual growth. The idea that alcoholics aren't bad people trying to get good, but sick people trying to get well, pervades and inspires. St. Edmund's program of recovery is second to none. In the past year, I've gotten a job, a license, a car, a spiritual life, and a much-needed pair of glasses. I'm also currently back in school pursuing a bachelor's degree. Living on the island and being a part of the community at St. Edmunds is a privilege, and one I don't take lightly. It is without any sense of theatrics when I state, St. Edmund's retreat saved my life. Tonight, as strange as it may seem, I'm happy to say I'm a grateful, recovering alcoholic. And I owe this gratitude and my new and healthy perspective on life to an incredible program at St. Edmund's retreat that took a chance on me. Thank you. God bless you.